This comes as Trump has escalated his attacks on the judge overseeing the fraud lawsuits against Trump University. Trump telling the Wall Street Journal that Indiana-born Judge Gonzalo Curiel's, quote, Mexican heritage presents a, quote, absolute conflict. Trump says, quote, I'm building a wall. It's an inherent conflict of interest. The National Hispanic Bar Association released a statement saying, in part, Donald Trump continues to belligerently inject bigotry and divisive politics into the 2016 presidential contest. His personal attacks on Judge Curiel show a dangerous disregard and disrespect for separate and co-equal branches of government. Robert Maldonado is an attorney and the national president of the Hispanic National Bar Association. Robert, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Kristen.
You continue to say that in that statement that Trump is trying to undermine the integrity of the federal judicial system and actually place undue stress on our democracy. Trump, of course, is arguing, look, he's not president yet, so he can make these types of allegations, particularly if he thinks he's being treated unfairly. What's at stake here, Robert, in your opinion?
Well, what's at stake here is how the public views the judiciary and views the judges that sit on our courts across the nation. We have diverse judges judging cases from coast to coast. These judges are as qualified as any other judge that sits on judges' cases in this country. And he's sending a message and a signal that's very dangerous and saying that these judges somehow are less qualified to be fair and impartial in judging the cases that come before them. And that's something that's very dangerous, especially from someone who wants to be president of the United States and who has such high prominence and media visibility.
Well, as you know, his supporters would say, look, Trump has the right to defend himself. What would you say to his supporters who would so vigorously defend him in this moment?
Well, he's not defending himself in this case. He's not pointing to anything that the judge has done as the legal matter in his case. He's pointing only to his ethnicity, which has nothing whatsoever to do with the legal matter. So he's not defending himself in a way that's appropriate, it's fair, or that should be accepted by the public.
And you know Judge Curiel, how would you assess how he's handled this case? We know that he's unsealed a lot of the documents, then he had to redact some of the information. He did get some criticism for that. How has he handled this case so far, and how is he dealing with this really unique situation?
Well, from what I've read and what I've heard, he's handled the case as any judge would. Judges make the best decisions that they can on the bench, and he's made the decisions that he's thought were right and appropriate. Sometimes mistakes are made, and they're corrected. And so everything I've read, he's acted appropriately in this case.
And Robert, if you look at our latest NBC News SurveyMonkey online tracking poll, Donald Trump actually gets 32% of Latino voters. That's higher than Mitt Romney got back in 2012. Are you surprised that he gets that level of support? Or do you think that some people are just immune to what he says? They don't care.
I am surprised by the numbers, yes, and I think that as he continues on this campaign and continues to make these statements that we've heard him make for many months now, and that they will continue in the coming months, anti-Hispanic rhetoric, that we'll see those numbers go down.
Do you think it could harm support for the GOP within the Latino community for years to come?
Yes, absolutely. I agree with Senator McConnell that this is a real problem for the Republican Party, that the statements that he's making and the actions he's taking is very dangerous and will have long-term effect on Hispanic support in the Republican Party.
All right, Robert Maldonado of the Hispanic National Bar Association, thank you so much for your insights this afternoon. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kristen. Have a nice afternoon.